Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Kung Fu and Coffee. This morning I am enjoying a great roast from Peregrine Coffee Roasters. Let me show you guys this. They have an incredible story that originated in Kathmandu, Nepal. Really fascinating. I want you guys to check them out. So this is a medium roast and it's got caramel, dates, and chocolates. Hints of that in there. Really good stuff. Our friends Brian and Stacy Hammer and my students as well out in Westcliff, Colorado. They knew we loved coffee, so they sent that to us to check it out, and I'm so glad they did. It was a very good cup this morning. That's what we've been drinking this morning and really enjoyed it. Now, let's get to the Kung Fu. If you remember last week, I had the pleasure of being in Tennessee with my son, Jonathan, and we were able to do the technique, this one here. Is it an elbow or is it a throw? And we talked about both, either situation. Right there. So we discussed how it could be an elbow. We discussed how it could be a throw. Let's look at the next move. Why that move? What's the purpose of that crashing down? There's a lot of transcript, well, I say a lot. There's a lot of material out there and some translations of what each move of these mantis sets mean. It's fascinating. It's fascinating history. Also, what I understand about mantis forms, or any forms in general, is the movements in those forms teach us how to fight different opponents, different scenarios. It's designed to put the movements in our body so that we can transition fluidly from one move to the next. Does it have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It does, I think, when you learn it, so it puts it in your body. Now, when it's a fight, every mission is prepared for, and you got to plan for it until the bullets start flying. And then you have to adapt, improvise, and overcome. Same thing with the form. It's teaching me to do those type of moves. He may give me something I may have to react to differently. Remember, I'm a principled fighter within the mantis. But let's talk about this. Let's say I've got the throw situation, and as I'm stepping, he may be a Kung Fu guy. What if he steps out? Okay, what if my hand slips? What if I don't quite have the movement, the strength to get over? What if he steps out? Well, then look at the next move. The punch is coming, grab down, crash, top of the head, shoulder. It's very difficult to block that if it's done correctly. Believe me, my Sifu has done many of those on top of me. It's almost impossible to block. When it's coming down, why Olo Choi afterwards? I feel like I'm missing him. I mean, maybe if he blocked, I bounce off, and if he threw the other strike, I'm punching. The bouncing as I'm emptying, what I call emptying the block or emptying the strike. Crash, empty. Block, yield, move. Here, he throws another strike. There's my Olo Choi. And then there's the punch. So let's put it together. Okay, see how it flows from one thing to the other? So what if it's an elbow? Remember, we talked about that. I could get the helmet block, come in, hit him with the elbow, or move. The guy moves, blocks the elbow, double block, whatever. Throws another strike, I just catch it. If he threw maybe his left hand, catch it, crash down. Block that, he throws his right hand. Then I'm ready for the Olo Choi. It's going to be what they give you, but I'm confident enough in the skills that the mantis has given me that I can deal and adapt and overcome those situations. That's what my Sifu Fog has always told us. He said, you got to feel, you've got to more, it's almost like having telepathic powers, which is silly, but you think about that, you can feel what's coming at you, what's coming, what technique they're going to send. It's really just the principles guiding you. You go there, they throw a punch. If you're here for Olo Choi, you go to punch. So next week, we're going to pick up the move. That move, one of my favorites in fighting. We'll discuss that next week. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time on Kung Fu and Coffee.